Okay, here's a disassembly video that you guys were asking for. So first things, check and make sure she's clear. And then as far as removing the slide, just like a Glock, you're going to release the hammer, the striker, pull down on these guys, and it's going to fall off. Okay, so now you're here. So what we're going to do, we're going to drive these pins out. There's 4 of them. 2 up here, 2 back here. They're 1/16 inch. Here's a little punch tool I made because I don't have any really small punches, so this is just a drill bit. I drilled in here a little bit, just into some bar stock. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drive these all the way out. And they will be tight if your gun is new. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull these out with the pliers here in a second. Okay, now you have your pins out. You're going to lift up on the back here, and you're going to see that this is still connected, and then there's the trigger bar over here. So what our goal is here, we're going to just rotate this, and it's going to come out of this. Gosh, the lighting's horrible. Sorry, but you're going to see how this hook piece fits right in here into the front of that, and then this step piece just kind of sets on that shelf. So we're done with that. Now, if your gun is new, you're going to pry this side of the safety off, which would be the right hand side of the gun. It's going to be really tight, so don't worry, you're not going to break it. And it just slides out. And then the other side of your safety slides off. And you can see there's a lever and a slot for the safety to ride in. Okay. And then from there, we're going to grab our 3/64 punch. And we are going to drive this guy out. Okay, you don't need to drive it all the way out, just far enough to get your disconnector out. And this is my new one, or the one I made. And then to put it back together, you're just going to drive your pin back in with your new part. Make sure it moves freely. And then what's probably going to happen is this guy right here, this is spring loaded down here. So when you're banging and punching that pin out, this pin is going to drive out to one side a little bit. So all you're going to do is you're just going to kind of put some pressure on this, and then push your pin back through so it lines up. And if you don't do that, you're probably going to realize that once you try to put this down in all the way, it won't go. Your issue is this pin's probably sticking out to one side. So then when we're putting it back together, we're going to grab our safety, slap her in there. This side, same thing. And they just kind of push together. There's not a whole lot to it. And then if you lift up, well, this is kind of tight still, but when you're removing this, this will come up. You can see it's canted up a little bit. If you go too far, there's some springs in here that may come out if you lift up too far. So if you do, just be aware that there's 2 springs that need to go back in there for your slide release down here, and then for your mag catch. So then when we're putting it back together, we're just going to take our curved piece, stick it in there, and then at the same time we're just going to kind of rotate get it in there. And then you're going to see how that just kind of sits on that shelf. And then it's just going to drop right in there. And then we're just going to make sure both of these parts are pushed all the way down, and you can see daylight through the holes there. And then you're just going to drive the pins back in. And then when you're putting your slide on, it's not like a Glock where you can set it up here. You have to start with the rear just on the back side of this. So you're going to drop it there. There's a little bit of spring tension from that slide release. And then you're just going to pull her back. I'm going to put my pins in first, but that's essentially how you take it apart, put your new part in, and throw it back together. All right, so you got it back together. We're going to function check. Make sure it's empty. So we got safety, no fire, safety off, fires. Now you're going to hold your trigger. When you pull the slide back, you should feel the trigger go forward. Keep pressure on the trigger, let the slide go, and then it should have fired. And to verify that, you will pull your trigger and you don't have the firing pin go off. So that's how you know it. Pretty much that's how you know it fired. It may not have racked all the way. You may have other issues, but that's essentially what you're going to do to function test, and then take it to the range and put a couple rounds in. Start off with one, work your way up, and make sure it's going to work how you want it to and how it's supposed to.